Hey there, Linda here. I'm the one behind the website and the whole concept of how it is to be you. And even though I've been shoving my camera up into people's faces and asking this very personal question to everyone out there, I've so far not had yet the guts to sit in front of the camera myself and answer it. So here goes. I'm a bit shy. I don't like being in front of a camera, which is ironic, I know, and it's unfair. And also the reason why I do it, because I'd rather not let the things that scare me stop me. Perhaps as an introduction, it's good to know that I'm just trying to figure out if I'm gonna cite up my whole resume, which wouldn't make much sense because you can just click on the LinkedIn link in my website and just go from there. But I guess it would be most interesting to know that I've never felt normal for a day in my life. In fact, I felt so not normal that I still have a running hypothesis that aliens sort of dumped me on this planet and then my parents just adopted me. They found me in their garden. I've never really understood how this being human thing worked. And it took me a long time to realize that nobody else does either. Nobody gets it. They pretend they do, but they really don't. Because how could we? We've not been given a manual, and there are all sorts of ideologies and religions and philosophies on what's right and what's wrong, but not really. We're just winging it, all of us. And even though I realized that, and even though I'd learned that, or that helped me realize that, oh, okay, then maybe it's normal to not be normal like I'm feeling, I did sort of feel like maybe this manual to being human should be written. And I was the one to do that, because why not? And seconds later I figured, okay, yeah, I know why not, because I don't really have the skills and the knowledge and anything for that. But I can figure out how it is to be someone else, how other people perceive this being human thing. And that's where the question, how is it to be you, came from. And that's why last year summer, no, not last year, but the year before, I rented out my house and packed up my little car and went into Europe for a full year and asked this question to all sorts of people, and that was amazing. It was such an incredible experience, and people surprise you and countries overwhelm you, and there's just so much beauty out there. It's incredible. But I realized that even though I was getting tremendous value from doing this project, from asking this question to people, from making the portraits, from traveling, I realized that it wasn't enough. And this was around the time that the Paris attacks had happened, and I was just feeling so sad. There was just so much, there still is so much horror and so much pain in the world, and I really had a difficult time figuring out what my place was in all that. And the one thing I did realize for myself was that I don't want to look at myself in the mirror and see someone who is not doing everything she possibly can to make a positive difference in all that pain, in all that suffering. And it took me a while to figure out how I could possibly do that, because I know from my business consultancy background that it's really pointless to try and change all the structures and all the systems and all that on your own. And especially when the people in those structures and systems aren't yet ready and willing to change. So that's why I figured how this question of how is it to be you could be the foundation for world peace. Because it does lead to more understanding of yourself and of another. And more understanding does lead to more empathy. And it does lead to more compassion. And more compassion leads to more joy. It leads to more happiness. And even if that's not more than one little smile, one smile extra a day, to a random stranger in the street, if everybody in the whole wide world would smile, that one extra smile every single day, then the world as a whole would look a whole lot better. That's my theory. And I have to be honest, it's still a hypothesis, but one that I'm happy to test. And yeah, I'm happy to be working on this. It's very fulfilling. It's very rewarding, even though it's hard, because world peace is costly and difficult and time consuming, and it's a big thing. But as said, I'm happy to be doing what I do, and even if I only inspire 1 or 2 people all throughout my life, then that's 1 or 2 people more than I would have if I would have stayed in my business consultancy job or took what was for me the easy road. This is not easy at all. It actually feels like carving my way through solid rock with a teaspoon, you know, Shawshank style. But this is my way. And that feels very good. So I guess to answer that question, how is it to be me? It's not easy, but it's good. I'm gonna leave it at this. Ta-da! This is me. Unhinged and all over the place, and probably looking left and right and up and down all the freaking time, because I'm not yet used to working this camera. But I'll get used to it, and I'll get back to you with questions that I'll be answering that will hopefully inspire you and uplift you and maybe trigger you to go out there and study yourself and study other people, and or be more compassionate, or find your own truth and live your own life, and whatever I can do to help you be happier being you, I want to put out there. So with that being said, subscribe on YouTube, or sign up for my newsletter on the blog, or like me on Facebook, and I'll be sure to see you next time. Thank you very much.